putting this brand new Troopy body onto this 80 Series Land Cruiser chassis.
And we're powering it with this 2UZ V8 engine. Here's what we've done on the build so far.
Stick around to the end of the video because we're going to be unpacking this Troopy body. It came with a bunch of stuff like the interior components, the front clip. It's all stuffed in the back, and I'm going to be unpacking it and seeing what all is in this thing. I finally finished up the rear hubs, the wheel bearings and the hub assemblies, and got the axles slid in, all the gaskets in place. Oh, finally. I ended up losing one of those little cone washers and had to go out to a buddy and get one. He had one for me. But it was just kind of one thing after the next kept happening between the wrong seals there and then losing the cone washers and having to get new paper gaskets. And like all of these little things just started to stack up. And I didn't think I was ever going to get these rear hubs done. Thankfully, they are done. Now I can get the fronts done and get this thing out of the garage.
The front steering knuckles on this Land Cruiser chassis are the last pieces of the puzzle that need to be cleaned, refreshed, and rebuilt before I can roll it out of the garage onto its own weight again. If I could sum up this knuckle job in one word, it would have to be tedious. Not particularly difficult, but intricate and time-consuming. There's so many little parts that have to go together in the correct order for the front wheels to be able to turn side to side and round and around. I like to call this job building a knuckle sandwich, because that's basically what you're doing. You start with the first layer and add the next and the next until you have a completed sandwich. It's delicious. It's my goal to have the chassis rolling out of this shop in very short order. At first, I thought this build was just a pile of parts and a long checklist. Bolt this on, install that, and keep moving. But what I'm realizing is it's not a list, it's an order. Every step depends on the one before it. And if I get that order wrong, I don't just slow myself down, I build problems into the truck. That's why I started here, with the axles, diffs, the bearings, the knuckles. This is the foundation. There's no point in dropping a Troopy body onto this chassis that isn't solid underneath, because these jobs are going to have to be done at some point. This whole project is a chain reaction, a cascade effect, and if the first links aren't right, everything afterwards will suffer. I'm learning about how to think through a build properly and respect the sequence that makes it work. These aren't the most glamorous parts of the project, but they're the ones that will make it a solid foundation to work up from.
It is a big moment for the Land Cruiser build here. I just got the front knuckles completed last night. This morning I put together some of the steering linkages and it's ready to go on its wheels. The chassis is ready to go on its wheels and roll under the body. I'm so excited to have the diffs done, to have the wheel bearings and hubs and all of that stuff. A majority of the driveline components, aside from the engine and transmission, are done. They're all refreshed. They're brand new. I still have some work on the frame to do. I would like to wire wheel some of that surface rust back and give it a fresh coat of paint, but that will happen after we have to cut it up to get it to fit under this body. So it's all just like a cascading event, right? One thing has to happen for the next thing to happen for the next thing to happen. And the thing that's happening right now is we're getting the wheels and tires put on the chassis and we're rolling it out of this shop. So excited to have this thing rolling under its own weight again, to get the tires back on it and to get to roll it out of that bay there. I can finally do some much needed cleaning. I can also get to work on the body, getting the body off of the wooden rolling dolly. That's going to be my next step, is to get that wooden pallet out from under the body and to get this thing rolled underneath. So oh man, it is so good to see this thing out of the garage again. All right, speaking of the order of operations and the sequence to getting things done, I want to show you what I have to do next on this frame. So in order to fit this frame underneath the body and have it line up, I'm going to have to extend the frame. So I'm going to have to cut, and add an extension piece in the frame to make it a little bit longer so that it matches the bigger Troopy body, because the 80 series chassis is just a little bit shorter. So where I'm going to have to cut it is the longest and straightest part of this frame, which is right here. And that is also where the trailing arms bolt up there. So what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to cut this mount off on both sides. And then, because this right here is the longest, straightest part of the frame. So cut this mount off, and then cut the frame there, and cut it here on this side, cut it, and then slip in an extension piece, weld in an extension piece. That's about 5 inches to make this frame longer. I'm not gonna lie here, cutting this frame and extending it is probably going to be the scariest part of this entire build, because this frame has to go back together
completely straight. Otherwise, the rear wheels are not going to be tracking straight. So I'm going to have to be extremely careful when I cut this frame apart, that I make sure to brace it in the proper areas, and that I make sure that when I weld it back together, I am welding it back together straight. This is going to be the most intense cutting and welding I've ever done, the most important welding that I've ever done. So I went out and I got a welder. But back to our point of doing things in sequence and in order, when I went out and got the welder, I realized something that I'm going to take you inside the garage and show you here real quick. So this is the welder that I went out and got for this project. It is a Lincoln Electric MIG welder, and it came with this nice bottle of gas, and it comes with everything that I need to weld. However, it is wired for 240 volt. And if you know anything about outlets and wiring in your house, most houses run off of 120. This welder cannot plug into my garage outlets, but that's okay, because when I moved into this house, I distinctly remember being told that the garage was wired for 240 in order to be able to run a bigger welder. Perfect. 10 years later, still in the same place, and now I'm getting to use this welder that I went out and got for this project. So I'm trying to find this special outlet that runs 240, and I'm looking around my garage and I cannot find this special 240 outlet. And I came to realize that's because the outlet was not installed. There is wiring coming out of the wall, but there's no outlet attached to the wiring. It's just capped off wires. So I'm going to have to get somebody out here to put in an outlet for me, because frankly, I don't trust myself doing that. I will work on vehicles all day long, but I don't have the confidence to work on things like that in the house. I'm sure I could figure it out, but I'm going to give one of my buddies who's an electrician a call. He's going to come out, put an outlet in for me this afternoon so that we can use our 240 welder. I'm super excited to lay some beads with this thing. And I just think it's so funny how all of this works out, because I'm thinking to myself, okay, I need to cut my frame apart to match it to the Troopy body. In order to cut the frame apart and weld it back together, I need a welder. In order to have the welder, I need to have the proper wiring. In order to have the proper wiring, I need to know an electrician or get on the phone and call an electrician, or I need to know how to do it myself. So this whole theme of like, it's a cascading event, it's a chain event. The first thing has to happen in order for the 10th thing to happen. And this is a classic example of the problems and the frustrations that I've been having to deal with this project. And also the good things, the wins and the highs, not just the frustration and the lows, but it's like, okay, I'm thinking to myself that I need to be on step 5, but I need to go back 5 steps and start at step 1. Buy the welder, do the wiring, get the electrician. In order to get anything done, you have to start at step 1. So while I'm waiting for my friend who's an electrician to come and do the wiring for the welder, I'm going to take the opportunity to unpack the back of the Troopy, because I haven't been able to do that yet. It came with a lot of good stuff in the back, the front clip, the seats, the whole interior. I'm really excited to see those classic Troopy bench seats, but I haven't been able to dig into all of that stuff because that chassis has been taking up this bay in the garage for so long. So now that it's rolled out, I can dig into the back of the Troopy and I have a place to lay everything out and see what it came with. Careful.
It's kind of heavy as yours.
It's not terrible, actually. I can go up.
No, I think that's all right. Aluminium. Yeah. That's sick. You should. put these in.
I wanted to see these seats. I was just so psyched on these seats for some reason.
Yeah, no,
I think it's sick.
They're really cool.
So I sent this little bench up, and I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know why. I just really like these Troopy benches. They're so cool. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's what makes these things technically 11 seaters. Power windows and power door locks. Oh. It's a headlight. Guys, that is all I have for the video today. Thanks for coming to my unboxing video. It was fun. I had a great time going through this stuff, finally getting it out of the back. In the next video, we might be cutting the frame in half. We might be getting the body off of this wooden pallet. Not quite sure. I'm going to see where the order of operations takes me. But I do have some ideas on how to get this body off of this wooden pallet and support it while I can roll the chassis underneath it. So that's all coming up. Very excited about that. Yeah, so if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing to our channel. Thanks for watching the video today, and we will catch you in the next one. Cheers.